Rich people believe I create my life. Poor people believe life happens to me. But there's something deeper than belief that I discovered after years of studying wealth psychology. Something that explains why lottery winners go broke, why inherited fortunes disappear, and why some people seem to naturally attract money while others repel it. It's not what you think. Let me tell you about Warren Buffett. The world's most successful investor still lives in the same house he bought in Omaha in 1958 for $31,500, drives himself to work, eats at McDonald's. His morning routine? Reading newspapers and annual reports. When asked why he doesn't live like other billionaires, his answer reveals everything. I can buy anything I want. But I realized a long time ago that wanting everything you can buy is the fastest way to lose everything you have. Then there's Sam Walton, founder of Walmart, worth over $100 billion in today's money when he died. But he drove a 1979 Ford pickup truck with bird dogs in the back until the day he passed away. When shareholders complained he wasn't projecting the right image, he said, "I'm not changing my truck. I'm changing what wealthy looks like." And Chuck Feeney, who built a duty-free shopping empire worth $7.5 billion, then secretly gave 99% of it away while living in a rented apartment with no car. When the New York Times discovered his story, he said something that haunts me. What use is money if you're not alive to see the good it can do? Here's what studying these stories taught me that no business school ever could. Wealth isn't about having money. Wealth is about your relationship with money. And that relationship is determined by one thing: your internal permission system. Most people are walking around with an invisible thermostat that regulates how much success they're allowed to have. Touch that thermostat, try to increase your financial temperature, and an internal mechanism kicks in to bring you back down to your set point. It's why people sabotage opportunities right when they're about to succeed. It's why someone can make $100K and feel broke while another person makes $50K and feels abundant. It's why external circumstances change, but internal patterns repeat. The thermostat isn't conscious. It was installed by everything you heard about money before age 7, when your brain was most impressionable. Every comment about money doesn't grow on trees, every stressed conversation about bills, every message that rich people are greedy, all of it programmed your financial thermostat without you knowing it. But here's what changed everything for me. I realized I had been trying to override the thermostat instead of reprogramming it. I was fighting my own operating system instead of updating it. So I started an experiment. Not pretending to be rich. I hate the fake it till you make it advice. This was different. This was about observing my own internal reactions to wealth and questioning where they came from. Every time I caught myself thinking, I can't afford that, I'd pause and ask, who taught me that? When did I learn this rule? Is it actually true for my life right now? Every time I felt uncomfortable around conversations about money, I'd get curious instead of defensive. What am I afraid of here? What story am I telling myself about what this means? Every time I saw someone successful, instead of finding reasons why they didn't deserve it or why I couldn't have it too, I'd study them. What's different about how they think? What permissions have they given themselves that I haven't? And something fascinating started happening. The voice in my head that used to say, "That's not for people like me," got quieter. The automatic responses that kept me small started becoming conscious choices. The thermostat wasn't controlling me anymore. I was reprogramming it. But the real breakthrough came when I understood this. Poor people ask, how can I afford this? Rich people ask, how can I afford not to invest in this? Poor people see money as scarce. Rich people see opportunities as scarce. Poor people think wealth changes who you are. Rich people know wealth reveals who you are. Poor people wait for permission to be successful. Rich people give themselves permission to try. And that's when it hit me. The difference between wealthy and broke isn't intelligence, education, connections, or even starting capital. It's permission. Permission to believe you deserve more than survival. Permission to invest in yourself when you don't have guarantees. Permission to take up space in rooms where success happens. Permission to charge what you're worth. Permission to want more without feeling guilty about it. Most people are walking around waiting for someone else to give them permission to be successful. But here's what wealthy people figured out that broke people haven't. No one else can give you that permission. It's not theirs to give.
You came into this world with permission to be abundant. You didn't need anyone to teach you how to dream as a child. You naturally imagined big futures for yourself. You believed anything was possible. Somewhere along the way, someone convinced you to revoke that permission. Someone told you to be realistic, to lower your expectations, to be grateful for what you have. And you listened because you trusted them. But what if they were wrong? What if the person who taught you to limit yourself was operating from their own limited thermostat? What if their advice was more about their comfort zone than your capabilities? The research on wealth psychology is clear. Your financial results are directly correlated to what you believe you're allowed to have. Change the permission, change the results. It's that simple and that difficult. Simple because it's just a decision. Difficult because it means taking full responsibility for your financial life instead of blaming circumstances. But here's what I want you to understand. Your small thinking doesn't help anyone. Your limited income doesn't make anyone else more successful. Your struggle doesn't inspire anyone. It just gives them permission to struggle too. The world doesn't need you to stay broke to maintain some kind of cosmic balance. The world needs you at full capacity, with full resources, making your full contribution. Every problem you could solve if you had more money. Every person you could help if you weren't worried about your own survival. Every dream you could fund if you weren't funding your own limitations. That's what's at stake when you refuse to give yourself permission to be wealthy. So, here's the question that matters. What permission have you been waiting for someone else to give you? Permission to charge premium prices? Permission to think bigger than your current circumstances? Permission to want financial freedom without feeling guilty? Permission to believe you're capable of more than you've achieved so far? Because I'm here to tell you that permission was always yours to give. No one else's approval required. No one else's validation needed. No one else's thermostat controlling your temperature. You don't need permission to dream bigger. You need permission to stop dreaming smaller than your capabilities. And that permission, the only permission that actually matters, has always been yours. The question is, are you finally ready to give it to yourself? If this shifted how you think about your relationship with money, hit that like button. It shows me you're ready to explore more about the psychology behind wealth. Subscribe if you want to keep diving into the real reasons people stay financially stuck and the mental shifts that change everything, because I'm going to keep sharing research-based insights about what actually separates wealthy thinking from broke thinking. Share this with someone who's been waiting for permission to think bigger. Sometimes one conversation can help someone realize they don't need anyone else's approval to succeed. And tell me in the comments, what permission have you been waiting for that you could give yourself right now? Let's build a community of people taking responsibility for their own financial thermostats. Until next time, remember, you don't need anyone's permission to be successful. You just need to stop waiting for it. The only permission you've ever needed has always been your own.